Welcome to Kaiser Permanente Kitchen Spots. Glad that you joined us today. We want to talk about foods that are good staples to have in your pantry and in your fridge. So I'm going to start right off today because we have a lot to talk about maybe having some canned goods in your pantry. Now, I like to use fresh whenever possible, but canned goods are they have such great shelf life, and some things are just going to be huge time savers. So starting off with some of the tomato products, I always like to have tomato paste and tomato sauce, maybe some crushed tomatoes, which are great for soups and sauces, but all those tomato products are going to be great for maybe a marinara sauce, maybe making little pizzas, soups and stews. I just know that that's one product that I use a lot in my pantry. And then I also like to keep some canned beans, and I know that we even referred to some of these in an earlier spot that we did, but the canned beans are great to add to salads, to soups. Again, they can be a great meat substitute to make your main dishes, so always keeping some beans on hand are excellent too. And refried beans are excellent because you can always put them in a taco or on a tortilla, make a little, snack or something like that. I also like to keep some chicken stock in hand and some vegetable stock. Now this one is not a stock per se, but it's a paste, which can be added flavors to soups and stews again, and dips. I even like to saute my vegetables sometimes with a little bit of broth, or I like to make my rice or grains with a stock as the base, which adds just a little more rich and depth to those foods. So I think it's excellent again. So I love keeping these in my refrigerator because they last a long time and they're just super easy to use with soups and stews. So, and then with my pantry, I also like to keep a good selection of vinegars and oils. Again, vinegars are going to be great for making dressings. It's so easy to whip up a little bit of a salad dressing with some oil and vinegar, or maybe just some lemon juice and vinegar, or lime juice and vinegar, or oil, and maybe some salt and pepper, just some simple spices, and it can just make such a zippy, good tasting, fresh tasting salad. So I like to have maybe some apple cider vinegar, balsamic vinegar, red wine vinegar is probably one of my favorites for a lot of dressings and soups, and then a rice wine vinegar too. And vinegars are also good for just finishing off a soup, maybe just a couple of tablespoons. And then sesame oil, olive oil, always a good quality olive oil, and then I like to have just a basic oil too. All right, so we also have a number of grains that I like to keep in my pantry, and pastas. Oatmeal, of course, because it's such a great breakfast staple. When I cook up oatmeal, I like to make up a whole big pot of oatmeal, and then I just freeze it in individual portions so I can pull it out of the freezer, add some fun little nuts or dried fruit, and I'm on the go to work. So that's a great option. I always like to have a pasta, spaghetti specifically, and I like to have a smaller pasta that would fit on a spoon or a fork easily so that I can make up a salad or some kind of a dish, it doesn't matter the shape, I guess, whatever shape is your favorite. And other brown rice, beans, I like to use farro sometimes instead of rice. It's going to add a little bit more maybe fiber or different nutrients. Just mix it up a little bit, and again, cooking that with the broth sometimes is a great option. So, all right, other things that I like to keep on hand is a good whole wheat bread. So the bread is something I keep in my freezer. I don't go through a lot of bread, and so I don't want it to spoil, but I just can pull out a slice and put it in the toaster or make a sandwich. So good for breakfast, good for lunches, any other occasion. And then also maybe a whole grain English muffin, and these can be great for little pizzas. If you slice them in half and put that little marinara sauce that we talked about, and maybe some sauteed vegetables on top, or a cheese or something like that if you like. And then tortillas. I couldn't ever go without having tortillas in my refrigerator. because they're so versatile. So I love to have some good quality tortillas on hand. So you can make up quesadillas or tacos. All right, and snacks, I think it's good to make things easy for yourself, to make the healthy choice the easy choice. So having some healthy snacks on hand is always important. So I like to have some nuts for snacking. Anybody that knows me knows that I have my popcorn almost daily, and that might be in the form of little popcorn cakes, or maybe I'll make a little snack-sized bag of popcorn before I go to work and take it with me. But even, you know, just healthy snacks that you can have on hand, I think make it so easy to make, again, that healthy choice. So of course it's important to make it individualized to what you prefer and what you like. I also like to have on hand like an almond butter, a sunflower seed butter. This is a great option if you have allergies to nuts. I have family members that have some allergies, and so we have to have different options. So it's wonderful that they're making those kinds of things so easy for us today. All right, other things that I like to keep in my pantry are some of the root vegetables, because again, these are so basic for salads, for soups. I like to keep potatoes, maybe a yam, because that's a wonderful option. I like to just bake a yam, and I can put some of those canned beans on there, some salsa, some cilantro, just kind of make it a meal in itself, and it's wonderful. So onions are always a staple. I like to keep both red and yellow on hand, and garlic, of course, because it's so flavorful and it's going to add so much to, again, your soups and your stews. And you can just make a meal so easily out of just a big potato or a yam. So, all right. And then other things that we're going to keep in our pantry with our fridge. I like to keep some fresh vegetables cut up and ready to go. Now I can either snack on these, and that makes it, again, easy and healthy, or I can make these quickly. I can steam the broccoli, have it as a side dish for my dinner. I can chop up the vegetables, add them to an omelet after I saute them, or something of that nature. So again, preparing things in advance and having them in your refrigerator is going to make that healthy choice the easiest choice for you. So always having fresh fruit on hand as well, and I like to keep it out where it's pretty and tempting for me to eat it. So I want to eat it, and again, part of it is making it exciting and fun, right? So have that fruit out and available, and maybe on display, and then enjoy it. So, all right, I like to keep a good amount or variety of dried fruits on hand, because I like to use them in baking, but this is also a really great snack. The only thing I might add to that is that you do want to pay attention to the calories and the labels. Because it's dried fruit, it's going to be much more concentrated in the calories. And although it's a healthy choice, it's still easy to kind of overindulge in those things. So maybe check out the label, check out the serving size, measure that out before you enjoy them, and then enjoy them guilt-free. All right. So anyway, I like to keep some almond flour on hand as well as a substitute for some of my baking supplies. And if I didn't bring my baking supplies in to show you, but having flours and sweeteners, you know, the sugars that you might like to bake with, and you know, your baking powder and things like that. So those are also some important things to have on hand. All right, so what have we got? And then my lonely little can of tuna here. I like to have tuna fish in my pantry because, again, it has a wonderful shelf life and it's a healthy option. I can whip up something very quickly and have a nice high quality protein with all of those good omega-3s that are in the tuna. I also like to keep some grilled chicken in my refrigerator that I can chop and add to a salad, a sandwich, a quesadilla. Just make it versatile. I think the important thing is that you tailor your pantry to the foods that you enjoy and that you love, and that you can really, you know, make it your own. As you develop your repertoire of recipes, you're going to find that there's certain foods that you definitely want to keep on hand all the time. So enjoy stocking your pantry with yummy, healthy foods that make the easy choice the healthy choice.